Okay, dig deep in your wallet, hope for the best. Welcome into MidPoint, our daily segment. The Money Master, Newsmax Director of Financial Newsletters, Jeff Yastine. All right, Jeff, I see where the market looks pretty good today so far.
It sure does. We have the Dow up about 165 points. The S&P is up around 14. And last I checked, the NASDAQ was up about 35. And what's especially interesting today, the riskiest part of equities, generally it's the small cap companies, small companies. The Russell 2000, which is that benchmark, is up about 1.1%, really the strongest of the day.
What are the specifics that drive the Russell? Because I think you say something that a lot of the investors will know, but most of the people who are the casuals will go, huh?
Yeah, the main thing is small companies are generally riskier. There's more of a chance of the company having problems, going out of business and all that. When the market is saying, hey, small companies are worth a good bet, which in this case we can say that's certainly happening today. It shows there's more of an appetite for risk, and depending on how you view the markets, more risk means generally the confidence in the future is higher.
Here's a guy who has absolutely no confidence in the future whatsoever. George Soros, apparently. He's making a $2 billion plus bet on the stock market collapse. Please tell me that this is a joke. Wait, I should say that. Nothing with George Soros is a joke. I got to stop myself right there.
Ed, actually, this is one of those stories where there's actually less to this than meets the eye. These sorts of stories come out of the 13F filings that are required by large investors to file with the SEC. More than anything, this is really George Soros probably offsetting long positions. He actually does have that stocks will go up more so than any sort of bet that the overall market is going to head lower. And you can look at the stocks that he has been buying just in the second quarter, which is the latest results that we have. You can see he's been adding to lots and lots of different positions. So more than anything, this is more than likely just an insurance hedge, if you will.
So it doesn't make sense if you look at it just on the surface. But if you then look at it from what's actually going on here, because we're talking about lower oil prices, lower gold prices, lower borrowing costs, nothing makes sense here. So we have to sort of, I guess, push this off to the side just when the headline comes out and say, there's a little bit more to it. That's kind of Soros working.
It's summertime, it's August. We've talked about this before. Sometimes the news itself gets a little slow. Again, there really isn't that much to this thing regarding Soros. It's just a hedge, more than likely.
He's been talking about this, for a while, right? He is the guy that sort of bets against the market from time to time anyway. This isn't anything new.
He has, but at the same time, he's not a perma bear, nor is he a perma bull. He's gone both ways on this, certainly. All right, we're only seeing one part of it.
Okay, I got about a minute left here. Talk about bulls. Coca-Cola buying Monster Beverage Corporation. Now, there seems to be a business right now that is totally on the upswing. You buy anything with the Monster beverages, the energy drinks, and you are rolling in cash these days, it seems.
Yeah, Coca-Cola, what they're looking for, they need more growth drivers. What they are not having right now is very much success with the brands that really have carried Coke for the last 80, 100 years or so. The younger generations are turning away from that. The sugar type drinks are just not popular. Energy drinks, though, have all the cachet, have all the cool factor with them, and Monster certainly has that in spades.
It's really about going for the younger audience more than anything else, right?
It really is. It's just a different generational take on things, and Coca-Cola has the money to buy its way into that kind of a category.
Yes, they do. $2.15 billion, as a matter of fact. Jeff, thanks so much, my friend. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Absolutely, Ed.
Check what Jeff is doing on Newsmax.com. And for the moment, let us talk about a little peace in the world. The peace at Camp David is the focus of this American Moment.
It's a region of the world that has known little peace since the beginnings of recorded history. But in September of 1978, President Sadat of Egypt, Prime Minister Begin of Israel, and President Carter of the United States set out to change that. Initiated by the Egyptian leader's proclamation that he would be willing to travel anywhere, even Jerusalem, to seek peace, President Carter persuaded the two former enemies to meet with him at Camp David to seek a lasting peace. On the 17th of September, 1978, the Camp David Accords were signed, returning the Sinai to Egypt and creating a framework by which Palestinians could have autonomous and self-governing control over the West Bank and Gaza. During the announcement, President Carter was clear more work needed to be done.
The questions that have brought warfare and bitterness to the Middle East for the last 30 years will not be settled overnight.
In 1978, President Anwar Sadat and Prime Minister Menachem Begin were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Jimmy Carter's Nobel Prize would come later in 2002 for his decades of work seeking solutions to international conflicts. You're watching An American Moment on Newsmax TV.